This is a story from Auschwitz, where Nazi German concentration and extermination camps were set up in occupied Poland during World War II, where millions of people, especially Jews, were murdered through forced labor, starvation, disease, and gas chambers. Auschwitz is the largest symbol of Hitler's Holocaust.
Today I'm in Auschwitz-Birkenau, the largest Nazi extermination camp. Between 1940 and 1945, at least 1.1 million people were murdered here, more than in any other camp. It was the Nazis' largest death factory. Men, women and children were murdered systematically and in cold blood. They were deported here from all over Europe. The overwhelming majority of those murdered, about 1 million people, were Jews.
One winter morning, the temperature was far below freezing point. A man was wearing thin, torn clothes, no coat, no gloves. His shoes barely fit, and snow was seeping inside. Before sunrise, the prisoners were forced to stand outside for roll call. Hours passed. People collapsed next to him. If someone fell, they were beaten. If they didn't get up, they were dragged away. At one point, his feet went completely numb. Not painful, just dead. And then something terrifying happened. His mind started drifting. Not to hope, not to escape, but to indifference. He says that was the real danger. Not hunger, not cold, not death. But the moment when a man stops caring whether he lives or dies, standing there surrounded by corpses, he realized something. If he lost his inner world, this place would destroy him completely. So he did something unimaginable. While starving, while freezing, surrounded by death, he started talking to himself. He imagined his wife's face. Even though he didn't know if she was alive, he began reconstructing his lost manuscript in his head, and later he wrote, "I grasped the meaning of the greatest secret that human poetry and human thought have to impart, that a man can be stripped of everything except the freedom to choose how he faces his suffering." I'm talking about psychiatrist Dr. Viktor Frankl, a man who was imprisoned in Nazi concentration camps, where hunger, cold, death were everyday realities. He lost his family there. He watched people collapse during roll call. He saw men lose the will to live and die soon after. Yet he survived. From that suffering, he wrote Man's Search for Meaning, one of the most influential books of 20th century. The US Library of Congress has listed it among the most influential books in American history, and it remains a long-standing international bestseller decades after its publication. Now let me ask you something. You wake up every morning. You are not in a concentration camp. You are not starving. And yet, why do you feel empty? Why do you feel directionless? Why does every day feel the same? This is a question Viktor Frankl helps us answer. Frankl later introduced a psychological approach called logotherapy. Logotherapy comes from the Greek word logos, or meaning. Its core idea is simple but uncomfortable. Human beings are not primarily motivated by pleasure or success, but by meaning. And when meaning disappears, the mind collapses. Frankl called this state the existential vacuum. Life looks full from outside, but feels empty inside. Sounds familiar? Just look around. We live easier lives than any generation before us. Food is available. You click and place the order on online food delivery app, and your food is on the table. Entertainment has no limits. Comfort is everywhere. So why are so many people still anxious? Why do we feel numb? Why do we scroll endlessly even when we don't want to? Here is something uncomfortable. We don't have a motivation problem. What we have is the problem of meaning or purpose in life. When life becomes too comfortable and nothing really needs you, the mind starts to slowly collapse. I call this the comfort trap. Nothing hurts, but nothing matters either. Dr. Frankl noticed something disturbing in the camps. The strongest person didn't always survive, nor the smartest. But some people held on, even in unimaginable suffering. Why? Because they had something waiting for them. A person, a responsibility, a reason. Pain doesn't destroy us. Meaninglessness does. Let this sink in. The human mind can survive pain. What it cannot survive is the feeling of unnecessary. Think about your own life and be honest. What truly depends on you? Who would be affected if you stopped showing up? Most people today are not lazy. They are psychologically hungry. Hungry to matter. Hungry to be needed. Hungry for weight in their life. But look at what we are told. Be happy. Avoid discomfort. Just follow your passion. Sounds nice, right? But it's incomplete. When suffering has meaning, it becomes bearable. But when it doesn't hold any meaning, it turns into anxiety, addiction, numbness. That quiet restlessness you feel. And that's silent suffering. Not because life is too hard, but because nothing is asking anything from you. Even when his life was going through a hell within the concentration camp, Frankl didn't ask, "What do I want from life?" Rather, he asked something very different. "What does life expect from me?" That question changes everything. Meaning doesn't come from comfort, meaning comes from responsibility, from carrying something heavy and choosing not to drop it. So let me ask you, what responsibility are you avoiding right now? What discomfort are you escaping? What part of your life feels empty because nothing depends on you there? The mind becomes calm not when it is entertained, but when it's needed. Let's be very clear. Suffering doesn't automatically create meaning. Many people suffer and still they break. Meaning is not found inside pain. Meaning is built in your response to pain. And this is Frankl's core insight. According to him, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. If you are still watching this video, congratulations. Because most people are so busy that they don't have enough time to think and reflect on their life. And consequently, they could not explore the deeper meaning their life holds. But you are exceptional because you have managed your time to know the real meaning of your life. I am not saying that after watching this video, immediately you will find the real meaning of your life. But I can assure you that after watching this video, your perspective would definitely change. And this fresh perspective would help you dig deeper into the true meaning of your life. So let's talk about some real and practical steps that will help you meet with the real meaning of your life. Change the question. Dr. Frankl noticed something important in the camps. People who survived didn't keep asking, "Why is this happening to me?" That question destroys you. Instead, they asked, "What does life expect from me now?" This is logotherapy's core principle. Meaning is found through responsibility, not pleasure. Let me make this real. Just think about parents. What do parents tolerate sleepless nights, stress, sacrifice? Not because it feels good, but because a child depends on them. At 3 a.m., motivation doesn't wake you up. Responsibility does. That responsibility gives meaning to suffering. This is why parents endure pain better than people who live only for themselves. Not because pain is less, but because meaning is greater. So rather than asking, "Why is this happening to me?" in any tough situation, ask yourself, "What can I do with this? And what my life could expect from me now?" Let's say you are a student or a working professional. You have worked hard for an exam or interview or an opportunity you really wanted. And you failed. Not just failed, you watched others move ahead while you stayed behind. Your first thought is automatic. Why is this happening to me? Why am I always stuck? What's wrong with me? That question feels natural, but it slowly poisons you because it has no real answer. Now apply Viktor Frankl's principle from logotherapy. Change the question. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" what does life expect from me now? Suddenly, your position changes. You are no longer a victim waiting for the answers. You are a participant being asked to respond. That new question might lead to thoughts like, "Maybe life expects me to build discipline. Maybe this is teaching me patience, not speed. Maybe I need to fix my fundamentals instead of chasing shortcuts. Maybe this is where I learn resilience, not success." Nothing about the situation changes immediately, but your mindset changes. And when your mindset changes, your future changes. That's how meaning is created. Not by escaping pain, but by responding it to responsibly. Dr. Frankl's idea closely aligns with the Stoic philosophy. Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Frankl echoed this when he said, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the freedom to choose one's attitude." This is not pretending things are okay. This is choosing dignity over bitterness. Two people suffer the same loss. One becomes resentful, one becomes wiser. Same pain, different meaning. Give your suffering a task. Dr. Frankl said something very honest. Suffering ceases to be suffering the moment it finds meaning. This doesn't mean suffering becomes enjoyable, it means it becomes bearable. Ask yourself, what can this pain be used for? Maybe it builds strength, or prepares you to guide others, or even help you develop the level of maturity that you couldn't have ever been reached if you would have never gone through this suffering. Pain without purpose breaks you, but pain with purpose builds you. Responsibility creates meaning. This idea is also supported by the modern psychology. Clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson says, meaning is found in responsibility. People who carry responsibility suffer better, not because life is easier, but because their suffering isn't wasted. Ask yourself honestly, who would suffer if you gave up? It might be your parents, your family, or your partner. This question alone creates the strength you need to bear the pain and find a meaning from your suffering. Put your values over your feelings. Famous German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." You can't always control pain, but you can always live by your values. Even in suffering, you can still choose honesty, courage, discipline, kindness. Values give stability when emotion collapses. Frankl didn't just quote this, he proved it in Auschwitz. In the moments of extreme suffering, he survived by vividly imagining conversations with his wife, not even knowing if she was alive. Later, he wrote that he discovered love is the ultimate and highest goal to which man can aspire for. Loving his wife purely in his mind gives his suffering a strong why. The Nazis had confiscated his manuscripts on logotherapy in the camp. Frankl decided, I must survive to rewrite it. His suffering became meaningful because it served a future task, bringing his ideas to the world. In the camp, he observed that while body could be broken, meaning from life could not be forced out of a person. So he chose dignity, kindness, and courage even when death was near. Apply the 3A method. When life hurts you, do this. Accept that this is happening to you. You can't escape it right now. Assign meaning. What responsibility or value does this pain serve? Act. What is one meaningful action you can take today? Not to escape it, but to face it with strength and conviction. Small actions every day. If you really want to find out the true meaning of your life, please follow all the steps that I have talked about on this video. One day, comfort will leave your life, but if meaning stays, you will survive. So I will leave you with one question. Don't answer it quickly. Take time, reflect on your life, and then try to answer the question. If suffering enters your life tomorrow, what would make your life worth continuing?